Welcome back, everybody. This is my YouTube channel, and as the title and the thumbnail suggested, I am going to grow some tobacco. Alright, so here's some leaves that I have from last year's harvest. As you can see, tobacco plants are the seeds are extremely tiny, really difficult to see it. Alright, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and get the seeds onto this little white piece of tissue that I have here. That way you guys can see how tiny the seeds are. Alright, because I was going through my packs of planting seeds that I have. I am in my garage, or shed as some people call it, and I was just going through my seeds and I was looking at what I want to plant, and I came across last year's leftover tobacco seeds. So I am going to grow that for this year, and I think I should show you. These are my tobacco plants that's currently drying. They have been hanging now for roughly a month and a half. So it's been up here for roughly a month and a half. It's drying. I do have some individual leaves over here as well. But yeah, like I said, this video is about growing these, and I'm going to show you how I grow my own tobacco for smoking. Right guys, I am not a cameraman expert, but I'll try my best to show you everything. So I don't know if you can see this, but the seeds, there's like, I don't know, thousands in there. The seeds are so tiny. And what I'm gonna do is just sprinkle some onto this white piece of tissue paper, just to show you guys how tiny the seeds are. Okay, so here it is. Alright, that is about, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 seeds. But this is how tiny they are. And I'm gonna zoom in for you guys so you guys can see. Oh my gosh. Let me just try zoom in. See how tiny they are? That is how tiny, alright, the tobacco seeds are. And that is extremely tiny. So what I'm gonna do is put those onto a tray and then have it germinate, and then I'll show you guys that process. Alright, so stay tuned. Right, before we get further into the video, I think there are certain things to discuss. Right now is the 5th of January 2026 for me, and I am in New Zealand. Okay, so this is summertime for us in New Zealand. To me, tobacco plants grow, especially in New Zealand weather, like it takes roughly 3 to 4 months, then I start to harvest it. All right, now in saying that, guys, I think it's important to say this. I do not know the laws in other countries, but here in New Zealand it is legal for you to grow your own tobacco. It is also legal for you to make your own alcohol, but there are certain rules that you must follow. For example, if you are going to grow your own tobacco, you cannot sell, trade it with anyone. All right, so you cannot sell your tobacco, you cannot trade it for goods, and you cannot bargain with it. And that is very important. I think everyone should know that. For you that's watching this video, depending on what country you're from, you should look up your own country's laws when it comes to growing tobacco, especially in your laws. Okay, so here in New Zealand, I am perfectly allowed to grow my own tobacco, but I am not allowed to sell it. I'm not allowed to trade it for anything, and I'm not allowed to bargain with it. All right, and because I use tobacco for my own personal use, I make my own cigars and I like to smoke my own tobacco. None of what I make is for sale. All right, now that we got that out the way, these are what I use to grow my tobacco. So this is a all-purpose liquid plant fertilizer. So I just use regular rainwater. Okay, I collect rainwater when it's raining, and then I water my plants with it. And then once I see it beginning to shoot, or I see the plant beginning to grow, I then mix liquid fertilizer. All right, I do not know. I've always used this brand because my father always used this as well, but I do not know the name of it. Yeah, this is it. This is what we have here in New Zealand. There's other stuff that you can use, fertilizers that you can use, but I've been using this for so long, and yeah, I'm not going to change that. I also use this tray This tray has about, I think, 40 individual plots in it where you can grow or germinate your plants, and I like to use these type of trays. I usually grow between 40 to 60 plants, tobacco plants, right? Because during the winter time here in New Zealand, you cannot grow tobacco. Tobacco will not grow here in New Zealand during the winter time, so I have spring and summer to grow as much tobacco as I can, and then I let that grow, and then I dry it, and it should be enough to supply me through the winter until spring comes again. Then I can begin this process again. All right. Another thing that I would like to warn you, especially here in New Zealand, snails and slugs love tobacco plants. All right, they will eat it. They can destroy your plants in one night. All right, so I highly recommend buying this. These will they're pellets. All right, they're green pellets. When I plant my tobacco seedlings in the ground, I also mix in a bit of this and I just throw it around the plant, and that way any slugs or snails that tries to attack my tobacco plants as they're growing will die. Basically, that's everything that you need in order to grow your tobacco. So what I tend to do, right, is grab a little bit of the tobacco and put them into individual pots, and as the plants begin to germinate and grow, what I tend to do is kill off the weak looking plants, and then I keep the stronger looking plants, if that makes sense in a way. All right, so we're going to get into that part of the video, and I'm going to show you how I drop seeds in. Right here, viewers, I hope you can see this. So basically what I'm going to do is get the seeds out. I'm not going to empty the whole bag, but what I tend to do, right, is I grab, like I take a small pinch and I just gently rub my fingers and let the seeds drop into each individual plant pot. All right, and this is all I do. I just drop a little at a time into each little plot. And what tends to happen, right, is the tobacco seeds will germinate and they'll start growing. And then all I do is pick out the weaker looking plants and get rid of them. And then I keep the stronger looking plants or tobacco. And that is how I plant my seedlings. This one right here. All right, that's it. Now the next step is fairly important. You do not want to use your hose and hose this down, or use your watering can to water it. What you need to do is get a spray bottle, fill it up with rainwater, because I like to use rainwater, and then spray it gently across each plot. All right. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to go get the spray bottle. I'm going to fill it up with rainwater, and then I'll be back here to show you guys that process. Guys, this is the spray bottle that I was talking about. This spray bottle only cost me, I think, $2 at the convenience store or at the $2 store. It was fairly cheap. And like I said, you can just fill it up with water. And then what I tend to do is spray it into each individual plot, as you can see what I'm doing right now. I do like maybe 5 sprays in each. And that's it. Basically, that's it. And roughly in about 1 week's time, it should start to germinate. And then, like I said, I start adding in fertilizer and so on. But anyways, guys, yeah, I'm just going to show you how I spray each plant.